OK, well, speaking of Mexico, Richie, let's have a look at their lineup. And the manager was saying that he was going to stick with the policy having 5 attack-minded players in his lineup. Has he persisted with that?
He has done. He said regardless of structure or formation that would be the approach. He would make sure to select 4 or 5 attack-minded players, and he's done that. Start with defence. Gallardo's ever present at left full. He's had one change to make in the central defensive area. Hector Moreno picked up 2 yellow cards, so he's suspended. In comes Ayala. He started the opening game against Germany, but none of the games since. Salcedo will move to the left-hand side of central defence to accommodate him. 20-year-old Alvarez starts his 3rd game in a row at right full. The big call, huge call for me, is Rafael Marquez. He's only a fortnight younger than I am. He's 39 years old.
A young fella.
Yeah, young lad. He's been brought in. He's lining up here as the holding midfield player. He can obviously drop into central defensive areas to make up a 5 if the game goes that way. Guardado and Herrera either side of him. Hugely hard-working midfield there. And they will look to get forward at every opportunity, particularly with the pace and the attacking threat of Lozano and Vela out wide. Hernandez leads the line up front. All those front 3 attacking players have all scored a goal in this tournament so far. But to go by the manager's comments, we're expecting a very attack-minded performance for Mexico.
Yeah, but I think possibly one of the things, Hope, that some people have forgotten, something that was overshadowed by the magnificent win over Germany, was that their finishing on the day against Germany wasn't that great. Do you think they're overly reliant on Chicharito up front?
No, I don't. I think what is going to make El Tri successful tonight against Brazil is their team effort and their ability to press. Now, can they do that for 90, perhaps 120 minutes? I'm not so sure, especially in tonight's heat with the 95-degree weather and as well as the humidity. And 4 games in, I'm not sure they can do it, but I do not believe that they rely solely on Chicharito. I believe it's a team effort, and especially in the midfield.
Yeah, and one thing they did do, I mean, they almost suffocated Germany with the pressure they applied in midfield, and it was very consistent throughout the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can see here on the clips, the closest man steps for the ball. It really is an indomitable team spirit, team effort. It's a body on the line defense.
Do you think they'll be able to maintain this sort of pressure? Because we believe in Samara this afternoon, it's extraordinarily hot. It's up around 34 degrees now in Ireland. That is extraordinarily hot, I can assure you. And it's hot out there, obviously.
It's going to be difficult. They will have to make some substitutions, especially with Marquez. I'm not sure the 39-year-old can perform for 90 minutes at that. It has to be a fast pace.
Yeah.
It has to be a fast pressing pace for Mexico to be successful.
Hope's mentioned about the game plan and can they keep that up for 90 minutes. They couldn't do that against Germany in the first game, and I think that's going to replicate more the picture of the game today, the German game. So in the first half, they had that ferocious intensity in closing down, being aggressive. In the second half, they had to sit in. They had to be very well organised, very compact, and I think that's where Marquez comes into it today.
Yeah, that strategy, it worked very well against Germany, Richie, but in Brazil they face vastly different opponents. Do you think that sort of strategy will work if they try and apply it in the first half against Brazil?
I think that managing the game, I think, is going to be key, because as much as the manager can talk about being gung-ho and getting 5 lads to attack at every opportunity, it's about knowing when to go, because the German midfield will speak about it in a moment. I think they were a little bit exposed. I don't think they defensively shielded the centre-halves as much as they should have done, and Mexico capitalised on it. So I think if the opportunity presents themselves, it's like Marquez, very experienced players. They've players who have the guile in the nous to know when to go, but also, like, attacking in numbers against Brazil leaves yourself wide open. The players of their quality up front would kill you.
Yeah, well, one thing that impressed us in that opening game, and maybe to a lesser extent against South Korea, was the quick transitions into counter-attack. I mean, they were very impressive, weren't they?
They were very good, and in one sense I think Germany played into the hands a little bit, but the speed at which they go from defensive situations, Lozano and Leon out wide, Vela's breaking through the middle here, was really, really impressive. And they did it, you're right, less of an extent against South Korea, but here again, ball breaks down the midfield. 3 central midfielders of Germany are now out of the game, and it's a 4v2. The 2 centre-halves against Germany, I think Hummels came out after the game and had a go at the team set up in the structure. They were just too exposed. It was very naive from Germany, really surprisingly naive from Germany. This is Hernandez's goal. Again, it just breaks down the midfield. And look at how incisive they are. It's straight away get forward in numbers. The decision on the ball, the quality of the pass, to finish here. It was all there. So this is very much what they're going to aim to do, and I think they really struggle against Sweden because Sweden didn't come out. Sweden didn't leave many opportunities for them to attack. But if you do come at them, which we expect Brazil to do, and leave any gaps in midfield, see the quickness and movement and the link-up play here, and it ends with the Lozano goal. So Brazil have to be careful as well. As much as we're going to expect them to get their key players on the ball in advanced areas, if they don't keep an eye on central midfield and maybe leave Casemiro isolated, they're in trouble too.